In this video, I'll show you the end-to-end experience from creating an access review, perform one as a group owner and a guest, and finally, look at the review results and download the audit logs. First, we'll start in the Azure portal as an IT admin. Here, you can go ahead to the search bar and type in access reviews. Go to Overview, and in the quiz tasks, you will find you can do a review on group members or application access. Let's go ahead and create a group review. You can type in a name and description of the review, and for the start date, the default is today, but you can also set it in the future. We've added an item called frequency. Here you can create recurring reviews. It's set default as one time, but you can also set it to weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annually. You can set duration for the review in number of days, and you can also define how it will end. You can let it to never end by a specific date, or end after how many occurrences. In users to review, you can review members of a group or users who have been assigned to an application. In the user scope, you can review everybody or just the guest users. Let's go ahead and select an office group. In groups, this is something we've heard a lot from organizations that are rolling out office groups. Leveraging the power of self-service, enabling anyone in the organization to create groups and invite guests into groups, it's really convenient that guests are getting access easily, but you also want to make sure that you have some oversight over all these office groups. And in reviewers, we added the flexibility for you to choose who you can assign the reviewers to be. Since we're reviewing a group, we can assign the group owners as the reviewers. You also have the option of selecting individual users from the directory, or if you're reviewing guests only, or a large set of users, you can select members, making this a self-review so that they will review their own access. This could also be a part of a two-step review where you could ask guests to review themselves first, then assign individual users, such as the director of marketing or finance, to do the second review. And programs is a notion that we've introduced. It can be any governance, risk management, or compliance activity that are relevant to your organization. And it's good to have these separate initiatives for life cycle management, such as GDPR and financial controls, so that when auditors come, they can get straight to what's relevant to them. In the advanced settings, you can find upon completion, you can enable auto-apply of decisions. When this is turned on, the decisions submitted by reviewers will be applied automatically when the review completes. And if there are users who are not reviewed, you can specify what happens to their access. No change, remove their access, approve them, or you can take our system recommendations. Now you can click Start to create that review. That was how you can use access reviews to review an office group that have customer-sensitive information. Here, I'm going to switch gears and show you what does it look like for someone who is invited to do a review. First of all, the reviewers will get an email. You'll have who has invited them to do the review, what their group name is, and when do they have to complete the review by. You can customize the description and the title in this email. For the reviewer, after they click on the Start Review button, they'll be taken to the reviewer experience, which is in the Access panel. This is the reviewer experience, and you can see you have some information about this review and a list of users for you to review. The important note here is that we're trying to make the experience fast and easy for the reviewer, but presenting them with just one page without the complexities of the Azure portal. Second, we want to show them as much information as possible to help them make that review. In this column, we have Access Info, which is sign-in information about the user on this particular group or application. If the users have not been using the resource, we will recommend deny. And if they did, for example, signed in at least once in the last 30 days, then we would recommend approve their continued access. As a reviewer, of course, you can go ahead and change the recommendation. You can also select Don't Know if you are not sure you're the right reviewer for this user. You can also accept recommendations on this review if you think the recommended actions look right to you. After you click on Accept Recommendations, you will see a summary of all the users since the review and the decisions that will be applied to them. After you click on OK, the default recommendations will be accepted, and all these results will be sent back to the IT admin. So this is the experience for the reviewer who's reviewing multiple users. If you're asking a guest to do a self-review, I'll show you the experience here. We've built an even easier UI where they'll have a simple yes or no question to do you still have access. And as a guest, they can even do it on their mobile phones. That was the reviewer experience in the Access panel to review a list of users as a group owner and also as a guest. Now I'm going to show you how you can review the results and download the audit logs as an IT admin. Going back to the Azure portal, you see a list of reviews running, and you can go into each one to track its progress. In results, you can see the list of users being reviewed and the system recommendations and decisions submitted by the reviewers along with their business justification. All these activities are logged, and you can download the review and the audit logs as spreadsheets. In audit logs, you can see when the review was created and any activity relevant to the decisions, and download this as a spreadsheet to give it to your auditors. If you have auto apply enabled, these decisions will be executed as the review completes. You can also stop the review at any point, apply the results, and the denied users will be removed from that resource. For groups that started on-prem, you can still apply the decisions by download the results of that review, and you will get spreadsheets and you can hand it off to whoever is responsible for that group. And it's also possible to run a PowerShell script to remove those denied users. If you're looking to something more sophisticated, we're bringing additional APIs and PowerShells so that I can have the complete examples of these scenarios that was demoed here in the portal through PowerShell and Graph. In the next video, I'll show you how you can deploy access reviews in your organization.